And we are recording. Welcome to Director Bound week number 5. Again, this Director Bound is the name of the series. It's where you'll find all the information on Consultant's Corner is under that series. But whether or not you're looking to move your business in the form of directorship, it still is. This class is designed to set you up for success in your business by helping to keep you consistent with your calls and give you some accountability for that, as well as teach you the principles that you need to have a successful business, if that's what you're looking for. So tonight's call is all about the difference. Last week we talked about the difference between informing and inviting, and today we're going to be talking about how to conduct an opportunity chat or a recruiting interview. So really quickly, let's do a little Wahoo shout out for those of you who had success last week with your calls or with your informing and inviting, and see if you added any additional bookings to your calendar for February and March. So who has something great to say?
Go ahead, Chris.
Go ahead, Chris.
I made some calls. I'm getting closer. I'm getting some people. I actually called some people tonight, and they weren't. I called an old, not an old. But a person at a virtual party, and she was actually a while ago going to become a consultant, but she became a consultant for essential oils. But okay. I contacted her, and she said she can't do one in February, but she's definitely interested in March, so I'm going to call her tomorrow.
Okay, there you go.
Another one, she was doing homework with her kids, so she's interested. She was a past person that was interested I never could get a hold of before. So I think I'm having better luck actually talking to people on the phone than I've ever had before. I don't know why. So
what times are you calling?
I just called recently, usually I call between 7 and 8:30.
That's a good time.
Because that's about the only time by the time I'm home, and I don't want to call, between 9, I should say. So I don't call after 9.
Yeah, I don't either. But you know what, when you're thinking about it, your life is busy, and by the time you get home and you've done dinner with the family and you've gotten everyone situated, it's like 8 o'clock at night.
Right.
If you're just now done with everything else and you're finally able to have a chance to breathe, just think of all the other people out there that are doing the same thing as you.
Yeah,
and
true.
It's okay to call them and talk to them at 8 or 8:30 or 9 o'clock at night, and just get permission ahead of time. Something that I used to do when I was the year I was just doing Pampered Chef, when I would do my shows, I would say, what's usually a good time to give you a call? Are you morning, afternoon, or evening? And I'd jot it down. Because I made it a point to do calls to my guests from my show to see how they were liking their products, but I wanted to make sure I caught them at a good time for them. And then I would let them know, I'm in my office Monday through Friday from blah, 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 to blah, blah, blah. Would that time frame work for you? Okay, what's the best number to call you, or do you prefer text or email? So those kind of things also help you with that. Who else had some successes and added some extra parties? Jasmine booked one last week. I saw her post.
Yay. My kid stole my clapper, so.
Okay. Another one. I got a package of 48.
Okay.
I can give you another. These are. I told Bobby I was going to give these to everyone who Zooms with us because they're perfect for the camera. So I know Jasmine booked a party for February 15th. Have you had a chance getting any more shows on your calendar yet? I know you have one coming up this weekend on the 10th.
Well, yeah, kind of. It's my mom, and she's in transition. So I'm going to shift it to a virtual for her.
Okay.
So, but she wants to push it till later in the month. So.
Okay. Is she pushing it because she's buying? Is she really buying a house? Is that what she was saying?
Yeah. They're closed. Yeah, they're closing on the house, and then you met my sister-in-law, so she's going to be moving in with her. So then they were trying to figure out doing a live party at her house.
Okay.
And then it just kind of got muddled. So she might just do the virtual because she wants the February special.
Yeah. Now, I never usually advertise that we can hold a show over because I always like to close my month by the end of the month, but it's your mom. So you can always let her know, hey, technically we have until March 15th to submit your February show. And then she could still get the Rock Croc 60% off. The difference is going to be whether or not some of those items that are being discontinued if they're going to still allow them to ship out.
Okay.
So, and I know you have the rock crock carrying case on one of your orders.
Yeah.
Or on 2 of your orders. I did see today someone post that it was sold out. So I'm hoping that's not true. So I would try to get that show from yesterday submitted quickly, so that way they'll include yours in their shipping count. Sometimes, because I'm not sure how the distribution center does it, if they already know what's in the carts to know where their supply is, or if they don't know until it's submitted. So I'm sure. Okay. Yeah, but that's $100 right there that you'd be less if they're sold out. So I'd try to get it sooner than later closed. And if you need to open another show to add additional orders, do that.
Okay.
So that's a suggestion there for you.
Yeah, I said I was going to close it tomorrow because I don't really want to leave it open. So
yeah, you're good. And that's what I usually do with my host too. For me, I did book one more party, I think, from the last time we talked. I think I booked 2 additional ones for February, but I'm not sure if I talked about one of them. For the end of the month, I've got 2 I added for the 26th and the 27th. So for those of you who need to come observe a party, I'm going to be in I'm going to be in Orlando, Oviedo-ish. I'm in Lake Mary on Thursday, and then I'm here in my neighborhood on the 26th, and then I'm in Orlando on the 27th. And then if you want to travel with me, I'm going to Ocala on the 17th. I'm doing a fundraiser party followed by a cooking show that day on a Saturday. So just to kind of let you know, I am working. I try to do 2 parties a week. And right now, the only week I'm lacking my 2 shows is the week of the 19th. So I'm really sad because I don't have a single Pampered Chef thing on that week except for training. So I'm working this week to book 2 dates on that week because Pampered Chef has that whole saying, 8 will make you great. So if 8 shows seems like a lot, don't get scared by that number. Start with 2. Turn your 2 shows a month into 4 shows a month. Turn your 4 shows into 6, 6 into 8. I'm not asking you to do 8 shows this month if you haven't even done 3 in a month yet. Work yourself up to that. But just know that in the back of your mind, 2 shows a week, you'll earn every single thing the company has. How are you guys doing logging your contacts? Are you doing virtual or electronic or pen to paper?
I'm just a mess.
Are you everywhere? You kind of a little bit of both?
Yeah. So I do these note cards.
Okay.
I whenever I talk to somebody, I staple the drawing slip on there, and then I put all the notes every time I talk to them or send a text. I put a note. So that's kind of how I keep track of mine. And then on my calendar, I put a note to follow up with them. I just put their name so I know to go to that contact card.
Okay.
That way I'm not writing all over the place.
So, but you are kind of doing both. You're using your phone, or you're using a phone calendar, or your paper calendar?
No, I'm using my calendar on a paper calendar.
Okay. See, I'm like a hybrid. I write everything down on pen and paper, but I use my phone all the time to remind me, hey Siri, remind me to call Melanie at...
Well, I do that. Yeah, I do that too. I send myself text.
I'm like, oh, who the heck is this? Let me go through and see who I need to call. But you basically, I don't care what your system is. You just need a system. And Jasmine, you're brand new, so whatever system you want to set up for yourself, you want to start off with much better success by starting a process and sticking to that. What tends to happen is you see what I'm doing, so you try that, and then you're like, oh, well, I like what Chris is doing, so you try that, and then you're like, oh, but I want to stay digital, so you try that, and then you're everywhere, and you're like, where the heck are all my notes? So basically, just find something that works for you. I'm a pen to paper, so I have a 5-subject notebook, but each of my subjects is geared towards a specific thing, whereas you guys might only need a 2-subject notebook. You need your booking and recruiting, and that's where you want to start. As you start that process and figuring out if that's working for you, then try to tack on a few extra things. I was telling Melanie, was I telling you that I taped their drawing slip into my spiral notebook?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I do. So I'll tape it in there, and I'll log when I talk to them that way. But then I also keep a running log of when I make phone calls, so I can track my progress. And I know that when I'm making phone calls, if I've made 14 calls and I've gotten in touch with 3 people, I know, and if I want to get more people on the phone, I'm going to make more calls. So I'll track it that way. really just find a system that works for you and that you're happy with and do that. I don't care if you're paper or digital, whatever works for you is good. Okay, so are you guys trying to consistently do your 3-2-1? 3 contacts a day is the starter. Very, very pertinent. You'll work yourself up to 2 shows a week, and without the shows, you're not going to get the recruits. So you have to start somewhere. So if you're starting anywhere, it should be your 3 contacts a day. Phone call, text, Facebook, email. I prefer phone call because people say no less on a phone call. So but when you're doing this, you're going to earn every single thing. So who was able to do their 3-2-1 the past week, or at least part of it? And which parts did you do? Melanie's shaking her head no.
I did
Did you
nothing.
do any of it?
No, my girlfriend came into town, so she just left this morning. So I did nothing this weekend for the business anyway. And I was too chicken to even ask her to attend.
Oh, is she on your chicken list?
Yeah. Yep. What they call it, the dirt list in that other book.
The dirt list, yeah. So if you're reading Get Over Your Damn Self, it's an amazing book.
I got it. Haven't started yet.
Highlighted up. Okay, well, in that book, and Chris, there's a lot of bad language, so, and it's a female writer, so she tends to talk more to the female entrepreneurs. Still an amazing book. But what she does, she says you have your list of people that she calls them her dirt list, and it's basically anyone that would support you if you were selling dirt. Like, they don't care what you're selling. They're going to support you no matter what. That's your dirt list. And those are the people that, you can reach out to when you need anything. You need a show, you need a booking, you need, you're telling them about what's new. Call your dirt list. They're going to support you. But yeah, so that's someone, like she said, call your dirt list, because they're the ones who would support you and join your team because they're excited about what you're doing and they want to do it with you. And Melanie chickened out. So we'll have to have a sidebar about that. Okay, so our homework. Who listened to Top Recruiters Tell All? This one is my favorite recording. And I listened to the one I listened to is by Jillian Grant. So if you ever do a YouTube search for Top Recruiters Tell All Jillian Grant, phenomenal. Like, her entire show, you guys have probably seen my show at this point. I think most of you. Melanie, have you seen my show? Okay, I think Chris has, though.
Yes.
Okay.
To go to Ocala.
You went out to Ocala?
Somewhere far.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, I don't remember going to Ocala.
No, maybe it wasn't Ocala.
Kathy went with me to a show in Lake City.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I signed the consultant, so I didn't have to go back. Sign my host. Like, here, take all these bookings.
I have a quick question about the on these audio recordings. They always talk about all these worksheets and stuff.
Okay, so all of these calls came from previous sessions at conference. Right. So if it's and Nancy Jo, I know on Bobby Lynn's page, she posts Nancy Jo's website, like toolsforsuccess.com, and then the password. Every single one of the worksheets you should be able to find on there. You should also be able to find the worksheets under events, and then it'll have the sessions from conference broken out, and there's PDFs attached.
Under Nancy Jo's website?
Well, yeah, Nancy Jo has some. She probably has them listed there, but also on Consultants Corner. If you go, I think it's under events, and then under National Conference. If you click, it'll give you replay videos of things that happen there. It'll tell you, here's the PowerPoint from that class. Here's the work handout that they gave for all of that.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a ton on there. I mean, you could get lost on Consultant Corner. There's just so much information. So I usually only tell you, you can also search for it. So if you typed in Top Recruiters Tell All, it's going to pull up probably the audio, and then it should have the files there too.
Okay, I'll take a look. Thanks.
That's a good question, because I want to say the second call, they kept referring in Evernote and this and that, and I was like, I want that script, what she said, and they were like, yeah, you're gonna get it, and I was like,
How do I get it? Yeah, I'll find it, and then I might do a quick, when we're done with this, if you guys want to chime back in, I might do a quick, here's how to find it, if you're looking for it, because it should be there, but give me a couple minutes to remember where it's at. What was something helpful that you guys took away from the call?
I didn't
Go ahead, Jasmine, you're first.
I didn't I didn't even listen to last week's Zoom, so I didn't know about the holder. So I missed everything.
Okay. Well, Top Recruiter Tell is my favorite. Chris, go ahead. What are you going to say?
So the one thing I really liked was how they talked about, the one talked about how she, when she doing her introduction, she asked everybody their name and then asked them to tell about their favorite product.
Mm-hmm.
So it gets people talking and what they use and get ideas in other people's head they can put on their wish list. I like that.
Yeah, it does, because people will buy from their friends more than they'll ever buy from you.
Right.
I just watched Michael Reeves, who is amazing, by the way. I just watched one of his cooking shows because he went Facebook Live into his team group page that he added a bunch of us onto so we could do trainings together. And so he let them know ahead of time, hey, I'm doing this as a training for my team, so I'm going to put you on the spot. And he went around the room and was just talking to them. And one of the things that he said was, same thing, what's your favorite product? And then he would say, oh, and then our past host here, she got that last time and she got it free. So he was doing those kind of things to bring it all back around. So that was really cool. When Jillian Grant did hers, and I haven't listened to the new version on there, but Jillian Grant gave a ton of word choices for how to talk to people about Pampered Chef and what you could say to overcome their objections, which I loved. So if I can get my hands on that one again, I'll post it so you guys can hear it. She's phenomenal. Okay, so I wanted to tell you that sharing the opportunity is really just a 3-step process. It's informing, which we talked about last week. It's basically saying, hey, there's this Pampered Chef thing I'm doing. It's really fun. You're letting them know what you're doing. Inviting is saying, oh my gosh, Melanie, you'd have so much fun doing this with me. Have you ever thought about doing something like this? And then the opportunity chat is where you're going to get an opportunity to talk to them a little bit more, kind of like an interview, what I was telling you earlier. So I'm going to go through kind of what an opportunity chat looks like, because after you've informed and invited someone to learn more, it's just basically like you're getting together. If you can get together in person, it's usually better, but I know people are busy. So if you have to do it over the phone, fine. That's fine too. We'll take it. But I usually try to have one of our little Taste the Good Life or one of the little recruiting brochures. I should probably have this stuff a little more prepared for this. Oh, I say that every time. So I try to have one of these ready so I can go over it with them and just tell them what they can get from Pampered Chef and what it looks like, what our consultant kits look like. But basically, I want to say to them, I want to try to schedule a time to be able to talk with them, whether it's by phone, text, private message, or something. And I do this multiple ways. Your host is obviously going to be your first choice because they're already getting their friends together to have people in their house. They're already doing a lot of legwork. So I try to make it a goal to talk to my host about the opportunity at least 3 times. The first time is when I'm setting up her show. I want to say, okay, we could turn this show into your launch party, because then you could make the money as a new consultant, and also, you would get the leads to be able to start your business. But if you're not like me, where you're willing to give up the sales, don't offer them that option. Offer them the second option here, where it says that you can offer them the kit coupon, the kit credit. And I mentioned that at Jasmine's show yesterday. Our hosts are the only ones who can use $25 or $50 of their free money towards the new consultant kit. Then they get the bookings. Then they get, the money off of their kit. And then you're not going to work without making money. Does that make sense? So if you're needing the sales, for me, I typically know I'm going to do about $4,000 a month in sales. So if I give up one show, I'm not going to miss it. But if you're just doing 2 or 3 shows a month, that one show is going to be a lot of money for you to miss. So you might want to not offer them for that to be their launch party, but offer it as a training show where they can use the kit credit. You're going to come to the party for them and their friends. They can use the kit credit. They're going to get all the bookings. You're still going to make the money on the sales. Just depends on how you want to do it. But I always try to follow up with them before the show to tell them about their opportunity. I follow up with them at the show to tell them, how your friends are coming over here to support you. I'd love for you to be able to start making money right away and start doing this. And then, of course, before she closes her show, I would remind her she can have that kit credit if she's wanting to start her own business. Okay, so this is something I try to ask every single guest. So Jasmine and I did a mock full service checkout yesterday at her party. And basically, it's you want to give every guest the opportunity to ask them if they would be, if they watched what you did today and thought if they could do anything like this. So in my full service checkout, it might go, hey, Jasmine, did you have fun today? And she's going to say, oh, yeah, I had fun. And I always say, what was your favorite part besides me? Because I know I'm fun. And they're going to book a show because I'm fun. But then that usually gets them to laugh. And then from there, I say, well, was there anything about the Pampered Chef that interests you? It's open-ended. You're not asking them, hey, do you want to be a consultant? Because they can say no to that. But was there anything about Pampered Chef that interests you? Oh, I really liked this. Oh, that's great. Have you ever thought about doing something like this? No, I could never do that. Okay. I try to give one of these to every guest if I can. Of course, I make sure my information's on here. But I say, I've got some information I'd love to send home with you. Maybe you know someone. This is called the backdoor approach. Maybe you know someone who could use this business, or maybe you know someone who could use some extra money. Would you share my information? I'd love giving referral gifts, and I'd love to be able to say thank you for passing my name along. You think of anyone, because they're going to go home that night and they're going to be thinking, oh, Susie just said she needed a job, or she was looking for part-time, and they might just pass this along. But if they're ready right there and they say, oh my gosh, yes, this would be so much fun, don't be afraid to schedule time right then in front of them to follow up. Why do you think it's important to do it quickly?
Because they won't change their mind.
They won't change their mind. They will talk themselves out of it, right? Yeah. So if you see them that day, say, oh my gosh, you would love this. Do you have time tomorrow? We could chat and I could just give you some more information. Because you still want to give attention to the people who are there at the party, but you want to be able to address her need. Send her home with the information, but don't send home too much info. This and a catalog. There's a Q&A I send also that's like some frequently asked questions. I'll sometimes stick that in, but rarely I do. I send this and a catalog. Take this home, look it over, and can I call you tomorrow? What's your lunch break like? Or do you work, blah, blah, blah. And then set the date and time. And then say, we're going to stay with me. Would this date work for you? Blah, blah, blah. All right, so we're going to go from there to virtual parties, same thing. You're still going to do a full service checkout with your hosts before your party starts. Once my virtual party hits $300, I start talking kit credit. Oh my gosh, you're already doing all this work. You can start your own business and blah, blah, blah. Same thing. Try to do a full service checkout with each guest. For me, it's different. Once their orders are submitted, they're shipped. I don't really have control to be able to call them, talk their order with them, do any of that. When you guys get an order that's placed on your parties, it hasn't been submitted yet. You can call them, thank them for their order, and still do a full service checkout by phone, text, or private message, and do the same thing. Offer them to join your team, offer them to host their own party, and thank them for their order and ask for referrals. We do have these interview cards that you can use, and they're also in your book. So you can there's a PDF version of this. You can download it onto your Apple or Android to be able to go through. So this is what the PowerPoint looks like. So when you're doing that interview chat, you can use these cards and say, this is a simple tool, but basically, thanks so much for joining me today. I'm so glad you're here. Melanie knows I start every conversation with a compliment. I had such a great time with you at Melanie's party. You were the life of the party. You just have the best personality, whatever it is, blah, blah, blah. But here's what you want to find out about. Let's talk about, what do they do? Tell me about yourself. What do you do? And the key is to ask questions. Oh, that's great. You're a stay-at-home mom. How old are the kids? Keep asking. Oh my gosh, that's such a fun age. What did you do for work before you had the kids? Oh, cool. Tell me more about that. Were you ever in a position like this where you had to do sales? Ask the question, what do you do outside of the kids? Do you get some adult time? What is it, something that you dream about? Basically, you just want to find out more about them, because that's going to help you develop that relationship with them. So, and this is the key question. Would you like to know more, or just how to get started? Because sometimes they just need to know where to go to buy their new consultant kit. And that's fine. Let us take them to your website. Yeah. If they want to know more, Then you'd have to go to the, all right, so tell me more. So which one of these things interests you? And sometimes they'll say support, money, blah, blah, blah. So we're just going to kind of go through each one. So if they were talking about easy, all right, so our business is super easy. We start with the grand opening show. We have some great host rewards. Our products really do sell themselves, and it's a small amount of investment to get started. Plus, you're going to make money at your first show. What else? What else do you want to hear about? If they said fun, oh, well, which one of these sounds fun to you? Free products, some recognition and awards, free company paid vacations. You know, when we work at the party, what of these sound fun to you? If they're wanting money, you're just going to go through this. Here's what you can make. This is just, you know, for instance, but you can make as much money as you want. If they're looking for freedom and flexibility, okay, well, what would you enjoy most about setting your own hours? Ask them the question. They're going to come back with one of these options, you know, being your own boss, the flexibility, being able to plan your life, and you just want to expand on that. If they're looking for support, that's when we bring in like our national training, our regional training is our trainings we do here in Oviedo, that there's online training 24/7. We have local team meetings that are a ton of fun. And you get me and the rest of our team to really help you be successful. If they're asking why Pampered Chef, you know, everybody loves Pampered Chef. We get new products every season that we can earn for free. Pampered Chef covers the cost of the host rewards. It doesn't come out of our commission. A lot of other direct sale companies do. They take it out of what the consultant makes to give their host rewards. We don't have any inventory to stock, and we can earn free business supplies. That's our Pampered Chef dollars we're earning, plus free catalogs this month, all kinds of stuff. So when you're asking them which one of these interests you, they're not going to say all of them. They're probably going to say 2 of these. So you want to kind of know where they're at, and there's little actual cards that you can get to kind of lay them out and do that same thing. You can pick it up and the information's on the back. So basically, if they're asking, you know, it's easy to get started, you can come to my next show on blah, blah, blah date, or we can schedule your grand opening show and come to our next team meeting. It's on this date. We can start your training call tomorrow and get you started right away so you're ready to order your consultant kit. And that's it. And then you tell them explain the consultant kits to them. If there's someone who has a ton of Pampered Chef, they probably don't need the ultimate kit if they have a ton of this stuff already. Get them started for as little as out of pocket for them, but still getting them the most bang for their buck, so they know everyone has to start with a kit. It's just whichever one you choose, and then just kind of go over those kits. So our starter kit is $109, and it's $450 worth of value. Every single one of our consultant kits has the exact same business supplies, so it just depends on how you know, jacked up you want your kitchen to be with some new toys. That's the one you want to pick. The deluxe kit, letting them know $159, it's going to be about $650 worth of products. And the ultimate kit, I call it the Mac Daddy. So whenever you hear me talk about the Mac Daddy kit, $249, it's over $1,000 worth of products and business supplies, including 3 lifetime warranty pieces in that set. So you pay for the grill pan and the rock crock, you get everything else in the consultant kit for free. And it's the best deal that you can get. And so then you just, you know, you want to congratulate them on their step, or you might want to ask the question. So sometimes you'll hear me say, so what did you think? You ready to get started? And if they say, no, I'm not ready, I say, okay, well, what's holding you back today? You know, what's something that's holding you back today? Oh, well, you know, I just don't really know if I knew a lot of people. And then I might say something like this. If I had a bucket full of names that I could give you so you could start scheduling your business right away, would you start today? Now, you don't have that bucket of names to give them, but you're going to help them fill a bucket of names. That's what Melanie and I did with Sherry, to help her think about people that she can talk to right away about starting her business. But then sometimes I'll say, you know, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being you never want to hear from me again, and 10 being you're ready to sign up today, where are you? And usually if they're a 7 or higher, I can get them to sign up that day because they're ready. They just need to overcome one objection. So their one objection might be, you know, I really don't have the money for the consultant kit right now. Okay, well, if money were not an option, if weren't an obstacle, would there be anything else holding you back? Nope, not really. Okay, so why don't we do this? Who is someone that supports you for everything? You know, so this is going, I'm going ahead of my slides. Anyways, but I want to give time for them to answer it and all that stuff. So we got like 2 minutes left on our free stuff. So I'm going to go over this quickly. But basically, I'll say, who is someone who can invest money in you right now to help you purchase your new consultant kit so that you can do a party for them and help them get that free money back in post rewards? Do you have a mom, a sister, a best friend, someone who would be willing to invest in you to help you start your business so that you can give them back a really great show and have them help you launch your business, and you can give them that money back in free products? Because if money's the only issue, now we've overcome that. If time's the issue, now how do you overcome that? So, and I have a ton of resources for this to help you overcome these different objections. The big one, especially on the bottom, Melanie, I put this on there for you. My husband doesn't want me to do this. And that's not because Melanie's husband doesn't want her, but she has a girl. But, finding ways that you can combat that, not that you're trying to convince them to do something, but you're trying to help them overcome that objection. So if they're saying not right now, now's not really a good time, then that's okay. You know what? I just have a girl. She's in my neighborhood. I'm doing her party on the 26th. She wants to sell Pampered Chef. She loves to bake. She hasn't seen Pampered Chef in a while. And I said, well, you know what? But she's saying no right now. And I said, well, you know what? It's probably been a while since you've seen Pampered Chef. Why don't we get together and have a party? You can see what I do and then make a decision from there. I'm going to get the booking if I can't get her to say yes to joining. And then be able to follow that up with, okay, now what do you think? You ready? It was so much fun. So going back on, we're working on our leader track. We're working on promoting some peeps this year so we can celebrate at conference. So I'm going to give you some homework. Screenshot this. Make it a growing team. That one is won by Julie Aldridge. She's phenomenal. She's my coach. We talk at least once a quarter about what's going on in my business, following your 3-2-1. And I want you to work on adding people to a list of recruits, people that you might be interested in working with or that might be interested in working with you. Full service checkouts and all that stuff we talked about. 15 contacts a week. It's going to close soon. So if you want to chime back in after the call hangs up, then I will jump on and show you where to find all those resources. I do want to schedule an opportunity chat, like an opportunity event that we can invite our people to. So